we have to get like Emily to come see us.
Yeah.
No,
I got a timer on my
want to do
camera.
that at all.
I got a timer on my camera, and that. Why is it? I think you have a ghosting. Look, it just did it again.
It's the cords pulling.
I think it's a ghost.
Yeah, it's the ghost. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. The ghost I don't have.
You have a ghost.
Anyway, welcome to the Jay and Mark
If this fucker
podcast.
goes up and down,
dude, it's because I'm moving my leg. Look, that's all it is. Chill.
Yeah. Okay. It's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
It didn't do it at all when you.
It's my
your
ghost.
leg.
It's my phantom limb.
Yeah.
That's there, and it is a phantom.
Yeah.
Hello. Again, welcome to the Jay and Mark podcast. This is episode number 26. We're at 26, and we're consistent now, all of a sudden. Isn't that weird?
That is so weird.
Yeah. Ignore the fact that we're wearing the same clothes as the last episode.
Yeah, we've been up all night. Totally
it's the next day.
Yeah.
From that one.
You could tell because my hair's all messed up.
We're both wearing hats, sir. Oh, but no,
damn it,
we're trying to get some backstock so that it can be more regular. It's for you guys.
Yeah.
It's for you, Jesse and Nick.
Yeah.
And Miggy, maybe.
Yeah. This
possibly
fucking
Doug.
cat.
And anybody else I may have left out, whom I love. But yes, we are here again.
We are back.
Pack
Shack.
How's it going?
Good.
Still?
Yeah. No, seriously. What have you been up to? I know the last time was I did a lot of talking about what I was up to while we were on a little bit of a break, I guess, if you want to call it that.
No. You were, but it was no big deal. I mean, it was a good episode.
It was a big deal to me, Mark.
No, that's not what you know.
It was a big deal to me.
You know what I mean.
I felt like I got a lot off my chest in that last episode. I think you should experience that. Why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
I haven't really been up to anything.
How do you feel about Donald Trump being our president? I'm scared to death.
I'm uneasy about it, for sure.
I'm scared to death because, and I think I talked about this before, that I think that, I used to say years ago that, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm not opposed to like prayer in school or even like our government officials having religion, anything like that. I'm not opposed to that. Yeah. But I've always said that our government needs to start running more like a business rather than a church.
Well, that's kind of what our government does run like.
Well, it does, but they need somebody to go in there and clean it up is what they need to do. Like when a business starts to crumble, they bring in people to basically clean it up and get it running better again. Yeah. Well, Donald Trump is like, I mean, clearly he's a great businessman. I think that in some ways he's going to be good for our country, but I also feel like he could get us into a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah. That second part is definitely true.
So it's got me a little bit worried.
Oh no, I'm definitely worried. I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, I'm more concerned about the state of the country, the fact that he would actually get elected.
Yes.
The thing I never understood in the first place was how if nobody fucking liked these two people, Hillary or Trump, how did they get there in the first place?
Yep, because it's a rigged system. But wait, what was I going to say?
How am I supposed to know what pops into your head?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
But no, I agree that it's probably rigged. You know, it could definitely be rigged to an extent because, the fact that there's an electoral college involved, that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if Hillary won by over 1 million votes, how is it that the electoral college voted for Trump? You know what I mean? Like, people say the vote counts, but obviously it doesn't.
And I've said that for a long time. To be completely honest, I don't understand. Let me rephrase that.
And I mean, that doesn't happen all the time either.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that, like, sometimes it seems as if your vote doesn't count.
No, you're right, and that's a big thing for me. I do understand the purpose and the way the Electoral College is supposed to work. I don't like the fact that they don't always vote the way they're supposed to.
Well, honestly, I don't really understand how the Electoral College works. I mean, they kind of skim over it.
Well,
in
what
high
they
school.
do...
I don't know if they go more into it in college.
Basically, what they do is the Electoral College, they don't take... They do, but they don't. They don't take all of our votes
No,
and count them up.
Our votes elect certain amounts of those electoral votes to then vote and elect the president.
Right.
So we're not voting to elect a president. We're voting to elect electoral votes to elect the president. I understand that.
Right.
I don't understand why. Is it because they think we're incompetent and don't really know who to choose, so they want to see who we think should be president, and then depending on that, I mean, it's just confusing.
No, it's very confusing.
Why is it even necessary? If we are capable of counting the popular vote, why don't we just go by that? You know what I mean?
Because that doesn't help them put who they want in office
Exactly.
in office.
That's the only thing I could come up with.
And that's honestly that's
it's a plan B.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's
right?
how I feel about it. And I could be wrong, and you could be wrong. We could both be wrong. Like I said, I don't understand it, but at the same time, I understand the purpose of it and what it's meant to do. But I don't understand
why it's necessary.
Right. And don't take this the wrong way. I don't like Hillary Clinton. I did not like Hillary Clinton, but when it got right down to it, I realized I didn't like Donald Trump for the job either.
Yeah.
So, and I do know, and I won't tell you who I voted for, but I will say that a lot of people voted for Trump because they considered him the lesser of two evils, quote unquote. And they felt like, and then there's people that just because they always vote Republican, they voted for him. And there's people that just because they always vote Democrat, voted for Hillary.
Well, the thing is, Hillary lied all the time. She was caught lying constantly.
Go
and
ahead.
Trump really didn't say much of anything. So Trump was kind of speaking in generalities.
Well, no. He said a lot of things, and everything that he said was huge. It's huge. It's going to be great.
I really have no idea what Trump, other than building a wall, you know what I mean, and grabbing her by the pussy or whatever. That's all I really heard about Trump was the crazy shit he said, or this or that, or who supports him and that. I never actually heard what Trump wants to do, other than build a fucking wall.
Well, he wants to make America great again.
Or grab her by the pussy.
He wants to make it great again.
Exactly. That's all you heard. You never heard what he actually wants to do, though. Like,
I'm telling you, it's going to make it great again.
Just being caught lying all the time.
Right.
And so, like, neither one of them were fit to be president. And I don't know who is the lesser. Hillary probably makes us. Does Hillary make us look better? Because she just looks like a liar, and Trump just looks like a fucking.
I think Hillary would have kept things going exactly the same way that it had been going for the last 8 years.
It would have been no different. It would have been another 8 years of what we've had.
Right.
Donald
Trump, I feel like, is going to stir up some shit.
Yeah,
he's got a big cauldron of flaming shit, and he's just gonna stir that motherfucker until
he's just gonna make us look
bubbles
really
over
bad for 4 years. Because I don't think he's gonna run again.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if he's gonna make it through 4 years. And I'm not saying I hope anything bad happens to him, because I don't.
Thinking he might. But he seems to me like he's not even gonna really do anything.
Well, and here's the thing.
And if I heard correctly, he's not gonna live in the White House.
He's
going to live in Trump Tower.
I heard that rumor also, but as of right now, that's just rumor.
Is Mike Pence going to just be the president, basically?
Well, here's
like Cheney.
Here's what I think, and like I said, I don't want to see anything bad happen to the guy. I really don't, but I think he's going to stir up so much shit that, and I don't want to say that presidential assassinations or anything are I don't even want to say that. So let me rephrase this.
You should be very careful when you're talking about presidential assists.
No, exactly, and that's why I want to rephrase what I'm saying. There's
For the record, this is all hypothetical.
right. There's some instances where it's been said that the government was behind some of these things, bad things that happen to people.
You're referring to like JFK and shit like that.
Right.
I mean, that's a conspiracy. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
conspiracy theory. We can talk about that. I'm just saying, don't be talking.
I'm
crazy.
almost, and like I said again, I don't want to see anything bad happen to the guy, but I do feel like he's going to stir up so much shit that our own government might take him out.
Perhaps. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
it could get very, very bad, I believe.
but I'm not convinced that he's not just the same old too. Because I mean,
Right.
obviously, it seems like his attitude is completely. I mean, I don't see much of him, and I don't really follow him that much either. But I mean, near the end of his campaign, and like now, is a very different Trump from the beginning of his campaign to like, you know what I mean? He
Right.
calmed down a lot. He kind of seemed to backtrack a little bit too. You know what I mean?
Well, I think, and he's always been a very eccentric person, but I think a lot of his campaign was he saw the reaction of people based on how just incredibly childish he was being about things, and he just played off of
It
it.
was a popularity contest. pretty
Yeah,
much.
he played off of that, and he continued it all the way up until he
That-
won.
I don't think he really expected to win. Back then, I think he was just having fun. Like in the beginning, when he was saying all this crazy shit, I think he was just.
Well,
He might have
okay.
been. People were even speculating that he was sabotaging.
Well,
his
and
own
here's
campaign.
my thought. I think that I think that you're right. I don't think he expected to win, but I think okay. And again, I got to be very careful what I say. But I think that we're still being played. I think this whole thing is going to play out within the next several months. And I still think that there's a bigger picture with what's going on here. I don't know if that makes any sense. But
I think I see what you're saying. That you think this whole campaign, even with Hillary and Clinton, was kind of just like a big show,
yes, I don't think this whole charade is over.
almost like a distraction.
Yep.
No, I buy that. I could buy that.
And I think that
I don't put anything past the government.
I
dude.
think- honestly,
they
I
are
think-
capable of doing more than fucking anyone.
as bad as things have gotten in the last however many months, I still believe it's only going to get worse.
Oh yeah.
And then I think it's going to get better, and things are going to be great for a while.
Look how fucking crazy and like for a lot of people, 2016 has been the worst year in a while for them.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people. And like when it comes not even just like finances and you know normal everyday adult shit, I mean like mentally, like it was just a trial of a fucking year, dude, and I feel like 2017 is going to be the same or worse.
Well, here's the thing.
And I hate to say that. I want it to be good.
I think
but like I'm
I
just
think-
so beat down after this whole year.
then you're not going to like what I'm going to say. Because
Okay.
I think 2017 is going to be a big part of the worse like I said, I think things are going to get worse. I think a good portion of 2017 is going to be the worst. And then, but had Hillary won, it would have been another 4 years, maybe 8 years. I don't think she would have gotten elected twice. But I think that if she had won, it would have at least been the next 4 years of exactly the same shit.
No, yeah. I mean,
Again-
yeah, probably no. You're saying no worse, no better.
Right. It would have just been the same.
Oh, no, I gotcha. But Trump has the potential to be no worse or way worse, is what you're saying.
I think that
I mean, we gotta there's that small chance where holy shit, guy's actually doing some good.
right.
But that's very unlikely.
Right. Well, and after the election, I
Just
remember
by what I know about Trump already.
yeah, after the election, I remember saying several times, "Man, I hope he does
I hope his snoring.
something good. I hope he does something to prove all the naysayers wrong. And I hope that
Ultimately, yes.
all I can do is hope that
Yeah.
he does something good.
Like Obama's fucking slogan from his campaign is what fucking you need to think now for the Trump administration is hope.
Right.
God, you gotta have some sort of hope.
Yeah.
Or else it's just fucked.
We are fucked.
Yeah. We've been fucked for a long time.
I think the only thing that's going to make this country great again is if the aliens that put us here come back and fix everything for us.
Well, I definitely feel like it's...
I'm kidding.
It's only...
Kind of.
I knew that. That's why I just kind of ignored it.
I know, but not everybody
Yeah.
knows my sense of humor.
For
either.
sure. But I definitely feel as if... And it may need to be this way in order to get better. But I feel like it's only going to get worse before it gets better. And it almost has to get worse before it can get better. Because it's going to have to get really fucking bad for people to just be like, I'm fucking over this shit.
Right.
Like, we need to fucking change. And it's going to take some drastic shit to get the majority on board.
Right. And I think...
really hope his snoring is quieter than I think it's going to be.
Well, it's distracting as fuck.
If not, is
but
it?
no, I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
If not, I hope it's adorable.
I think what it's going to come down to is the United States, the people, not the government, but the people need to take this country back. Honestly.
And
I think the government has gotten away with their shenanigans and their bullshit for way too long that people see it as normal now. And they think, well, we all know the government's corrupt.
Yeah.
You know, we can't do anything about it. Bullshit, yes, we can.
Yeah.
But how many people does it take to stand up and say enough is enough? And how do you get all those people to come together and do that?
Yeah. Like, that's why I'm saying it's going to take some drastic measures, like whether it comes to some terrible shit happening or somebody doing something huge that opens people's eyes. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a lot, and that's why I think it's going to have to get worse before it gets better.
Right. Before people just get fed up.
Unless, like you're talking, which isn't as crazy as most people would think, something from the fucking heavens or whatever, God or aliens or something comes down and is like, look, this is how you fix shit. Or they give us something that changes the fucking world, gives us a chance to change, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Gives us the fucking kickstart we need to go further.
Which,
like, I think the human being on the planet right now, and most people, like, I know somebody for sure. I don't think Roger likes this guy very much for some reason. I'm not, you know how Roger is. But I think the closest person that could do something that's smart enough and is capable of doing something or creating something that will save the fucking planet is Elon Musk. That dude is creating some crazy fucking shit that is shit I never even thought was... I never thought I'd see in my lifetime.
like what?
He's making this stuff. Like, he's the guy... I think he's the one behind... SpaceX or something? All the people that are doing all the cool shit with space now, ever since the funding for NASA got cut down. He's created all kinds of... I can't remember what it is. Like, you'd think... It must not be that amazing if I can't remember it, right? But, I don't really know him that well. I just heard about a lot of shit he's coming up with. He's creating things that are like could change the world and might in the future. Definitely will, I think.
Speaking of that, and I don't necessarily want to change the subject, but
and again, sorry, not to cut you off, but I just want to make sure that I'm not an expert on this shit. Like,
right.
I'm talking politics, and I don't even know that much about
right.
politics.
And I didn't mean for it to go this direction when I brought it up. I was throwing out a topic, but. Before I forget, that reminded me. Well, not reminded me. You started to sway the conversation in that direction, so I want to go to that too. Have you noticed? And we don't have to elaborate much on it if you don't want to. But have you noticed how many more videos are coming out, like on YouTube and the internet and all that stuff, of UFO sightings? It's incredible.
What do you mean, just over the past few years? How many more there are?
Like even like amateur, amateur videos of people that are, what is it, Turkey? There's some shit going on in Turkey right now.
You mean just people busting out their phones and like because they're out and they happen to see it, and they're like, "What the fuck?" and they just capture it.
Right, and no, exactly. There's a ton of videos, and you and I both like this website. It's that Secure Team 10 YouTube channel.
Todd here from Secure Team.
I knew. How you guys doing?
And I like the guy. And he's not that bad. I
No,
exaggerate extremely, but like
Right.
I think it's funny, and that's something we do all the time.
Right.
Todd here from Secure Team.
But that dude gets emailed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he posts all this stuff, and he says, "I'm not trying to say it's real. I'm not trying to debunk it, though. I'm just people are sending it to me. I'm putting it out there, and I'm giving you my thoughts on it.
I want to see what your thoughts are.
Right,
So.
and some of this stuff is pretty convincing.
Yeah.
But he has also put out videos on something called Project Bluebeam, which is the government using holograms to basically stir up.
No, like they say
Shit.
the moon's a hologram.
Right.
They say the universe. Is a hologram.
There's actually a theory out there. I don't know whose theory it is, but they're trying to say that the moon could be hollow, and it's some sort of alien space.
I've heard about
whatever
this.
up on the moon.
And like that's something I always wondered about, because when you see certain pictures of the moon, especially when they show like X-ray pictures of the moon and stuff, it looks like steel beam structures.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird
inside
shit up there.
Almost like you see like in a dome for like a stadium, like those big steel beams that like support beams.
Mhm.
It looks like a bunch of those that make up a circle.
There's
And I mean, that might be photoshopped, or that might just be some natural thing in the fucking ground. But I mean, that's interesting.
well, or it could be our brain's way of putting together what we're seeing,
Yeah,
just
they call that
like how
Matrixing, where you see something that isn't actually there,
right
just
because your brain's trying to make sense of it.
Exactly.
But now there's also some other really cool photos from the pictures were taken by the Mars rover thing.
Yeah.
There's one, and they're even saying there might be again, rumors, theories, speculation,
Who
whatever
the
you want
fuck
to call
knows?
it. Whatever you want to call it. But that rover captured a picture, and Tyler on that Secure Team, he posted a video about it too, where there's literally a light coming up out of the ground on Mars, and the rover got a picture of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking sweet, dude.
Well,
to look
could
at it and
that-
just be like, what?
Could that be like a reflection from like a rock? Or
No,
like-
it's a light shooting straight up out of the planet.
so it's like a beam, like a laser.
No, it's like the fucking light coming out of the hatch on Lost when it.
Shit. So like the beam of lights that they put for the Twin Towers when they were down. I think they're still there. They just beam straight up.
Yeah,
into the sky,
but
kinda like
but
that.
it's literally coming from underground though. Look,
Shit.
there it is right there. I just found it.
The picture.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's literally coming up out of the ground.
Yeah, that looks like almost like a bonfire. You know, like I expected to see something like beaming way high into like the atmosphere, but this is like
Yeah,
like 100 or so, couple hundred feet off the ground.
right. And you got to think too how far away the rover is from taking that picture. So the
Almost
height on that
Looks
it's
like an
hard.
explosion, or like I said, like a really big bonfire.
Right. Well, and there's also, and there's been several, and you could find other videos on this too. People talking about NASA for
I'm
the.
sorry if his snoring is annoying.
I don't even hear it anymore, but until you say something. But well, I do now. But
Well, I also meant for the viewers.
no, I know.
But go ahead.
NASA, anytime something happens, like in space,
Mhm.
and their space station catches it, because they've got cameras all around the NASA space station up there.
Yeah.
And anytime, because there's people that literally sit there and watch this shit like all day long, and they'll pick up on things, and like literally lights just going flashing across the screen, like there's literally UFOs just racing
Yeah.
around out there. And NASA will literally cut the feed.
No, I've seen these videos. Yeah,
And then
like
there's-
you'll see it just start to happen, and then it'll cut.
Yeah.
Like I saw the one where it was like coming. It came out of the darkness and it just slowly like crept. You saw more and more of it as it was getting closer, and then they like cut it like before it got too close. But they actually. I don't know if they did it yet, but I think they stopped showing that live feed, and that's probably why. Like NASA stopped doing it, but I think somebody else does it now.
Yeah,
But
maybe it's Elon Musk.
I don't know.
But no, there's some cool shit out there. And
I could be wrong.
coming back to a conversation we had on a previous podcast.
Previously on Jay and Mark.
Previously on Jay and Mark.
On Lost.
Where the fuck was I going with this?
On a previous podcast,
Yeah,
we talked about
I'm
something.
losing my
apparently.
mind.
We were talking about the NASA space station and how there was shit flying all around it.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember.
Oh man, you're losing your memory, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, don't get old.
But anyway, the NASA around the space station thing though, that's all like around the space station. That's not like those cameras can't see like to Mars and shit. The stuff you're seeing from Mars are like the rover or like satellites they send out there and whatnot.
Right. No, I'm referring to like shit that they're seeing like flying past the camera.
Yeah, just like quick little.
Not like they're trying to perform for the camera. I mean, you're literally just watching this shit fly through space.
Yeah, just real quick, like they're moving at light speed or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, which brings up another thing.
Well, I guess
I was watching another video where I don't remember where the video came from, so maybe I shouldn't even talk about it, but I'm going to anyway. There's another one. Somebody from... I probably shouldn't even say anything because I don't remember exactly. But in the video, you're literally watching what looks like portals in space opening up and then shit flying out of them. And then something will open up and you see something fly into it.
I've seen that shit.
And
too.
they're
It's like
relating
wormholes.
that. Yeah, they're these black holes. They started talking about CERN again, opening up these portals. A lot of this shit happens above CERN. And then they're relating a lot of it to
it's not because of CERN. It's just happening above CERN in space.
No, they think that
Because
CERN,
I thought
they think that CERN has something to do with it.
Oh, maybe, yeah. But I'm saying like this is an outside thing happening up there. It's not
Right.
It's not like directly. It's not CERN's
No,
doing.
it's not
'Cause
like
I feel
in
like
our atmosphere.
all the
It's-
particle accelerator or whatever. It's all contained within that big circular thing. You know. What
Right.
I mean, that's what I thought anyway. I'm no fucking physicist.
Well,
particle
no,
physicist.
I think that it is, but I think that that's affecting.
But there's
our
a lot
atmosphere
of
around
energy
it.
going on right there. So all this
Hell
stuff is
yeah.
happening like right above it because of that.
Right.
It's like a hotbed because of that shit.
Right.
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 Cool.
Correct.
That
That
is correct.
Anyway, gotta love Billy Madison.
I miss
But,
Chris Farley.
Me too.
But yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on in outer space.
Out there in the outer space.
But yeah, there's a lot of amateur videos. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Going back to
Here we
a
go.
previous podcast, it just popped back. What the fuck?
Don't forget.
Going back to a previous podcast where we talked about, having the internet now and how things are so readily available.
Yeah.
And how we can, whereas before you would have had to, you really wouldn't have any way to research that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Not
But-
without like trying really hard.
right, but now with cell phone technology being what it is, and the internet being what it is, and people being able to just, wow, what's that up in the sky? And they take their video and then just post it to the internet, and then millions of people across the world can see it right now.
Well, we started this whole conversation because you said Tyler from Secure Team was talking. I think you said this was talking about how there are so many now, and I think the
Right.
reason there are so many now is because everyone has a fucking camera in their pocket all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why you see multiple videos of the same thing from different angles.
Right.
Like that UFO that I think was in Brazil or whatever. Or no, it was over Jerusalem. It was like right over that temple. Like is it the Wailing Wall or whatever? I don't know. But right over that temple, there was a UFO that came down. And it was like hovering like 100 or 2 feet above it. and just chilled there. It did like a couple flashes, almost like camera flashes, real quick, like, and then it shot way back in the sky, real super fucking fast.
Right.
And there you could see that video from like 2 or 3 different angles because so many people saw it and were filming it. You could see it closer, somebody who was a lot closer to it, somebody who was way up on like a mountain or a hill far away, like you could see the city and shit. Like, I mean, there's even multiple videos for one sighting. So
Right.
that's why there's a shit ton more than there was now.
Right.
I mean, back in the day, only rich people had video cameras and shit. Like, every picture you saw, like Bigfoot and UFOs and stuff, were like grainy, shitty, like Polaroids or like old cameras that like poor people could afford, you know?
Right.
Before you could buy a fucking HD camera for a decent amount, you know?
Right.
But, yeah.
There's so much crazy shit going on, and we can. That's what I was starting to say was, before the government even has a chance to censor anything, we could
Somebody
see it
will
online.
see it.
Right, somebody is seeing it,
And
and that's the
a
cool
good
thing.
portion of them are smart enough to get it before it's gone.
Right. Well, and that's where I was going. The good
Rip
thing
it or
about the
whatever.
internet is so many people could see it, and then they can take that and rip it and share it
And just
somewhere
keep
else,
re-uploading
and then it
it.
just keeps popping up everywhere to where people are being able to see it before the government has a chance to say no, get this off of there.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
it's viral, and everybody's seen it.
I mean, it was a public occurrence. Like, unless it's like an issue of national security or something, they really have no right to censor it.
But they do.
But they do, and they will claim it's a national security issue, even
Right.
if it isn't.
Right.
See,
Do you know they're
it all
saying
goes
that?
back to whether or not the government is corrupt.
You know they're saying now that the Men in Black are alien.
Yeah,
Like no, like
I've heard of
like
something
before
like that.
people used to say that it was like a secret government, blah blah
agency,
blah.
but actually it's aliens.
They actually
like,
think it's aliens. There's also another theory too. I was just hearing about or reading about this the other day. You mentioned Bigfoot. They think Bigfoot might be a multi-dimensional being, and that's why we cannot ever find the bones. We can't ever. I mean, think about how long the stories of Bigfoot have been around.
yeah.
And nobody's ever captured one. Nobody's, as long as
Like,
Bigfoot's been
unless they're immortal, they've had to have died over the years.
exactly. And how come we can't find bones? We can't find hair samples. I mean, the motherfuckers are out there scratching their backs on trees. How are we not finding shit?
Yeah.
You know, the motherfuckers had to die at some point. You know,
Well, I mean, they do find stuff. Like, they found hair and they found, like, footprints and shit. And they've even, some of them, don't quote me on this, but from what I can remember, at least, unless it was debunked at some point or something, some of them actually had evidence of being an unknown creature. Or it had human DNA in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or, like, something to lead that it was something not known rather than known.
well, they're now there's a theory out there that Bigfoot may actually be a multi-dimensional being from outer space.
See, I have a hard
Saying
time
that
believing
Bigfoot may actually be some sort of alien being.
I mean, he could very well be. He would have to.
And that's why when somebody sees him and then he's gone all of a sudden before somebody has a chance to go and take a shit ton of pictures or even video of it,
Yeah.
it's because he appears, he does whatever he's got to do, and then he's fucking gone.
That could be. I mean, probably not, but I mean, anything's possible to me.
Right.
But like, I kind of don't buy it. It's too primitive. He's always in the woods. It's always, and they're all over there's yetis and shit. Which, I mean, I guess a yeti is the same thing, but I always thought of a yeti more as like a snow Bigfoot.
I always thought of it as a cooler, a really expensive ice chest.
That's all. Wow. I'm just wow.
Wow.
But what was I saying? I know. I feel like. I mean, maybe they're traveling in like a spaceship or something, and they're running back to it, or like they're, able to jump through dimensions and like weird tears in the universe or something where, you know, they just kind of go there out of nowhere and they're gone or something. But like it seems more like there's something that's hiding in the woods. You know what I mean? Because they're always kind of there unless they have like a routine or a method to their madness. But like, I don't know. I feel like I'm thinking about this too much.
Well, if they're just hiding in the woods, why can't we find them? Why can't, because like
That's
you
true.
said,
Maybe they don't exist.
maybe they don't exist.
Maybe it's all a hoax, or maybe some of the shit's just a bear, or
Yep.
a
Well,
monkey.
and there's theories of
Or
that too. It's most sightings are just black bears. But if it is true, and I'm not saying that it is true, I'm not saying that I believe in Bigfoot, I'm not saying I don't believe in Bigfoot. But what I'm saying is, if Bigfoot does exist, how come nobody has found him? How come nobody has actually found
especially in this day
concrete
and age.
evidence, especially in this day and age? And how come with the internet and cell phones and cell phone video being the quality that it is, why can't we get a good fucking picture of
No,
him?
I agree. I agree.
And why?
And
We can't find.
if we don't within the next 10 to 20 years, we're never gonna. And I'm kind of
Well, if we haven't in the last
unless
in
I
the
see
last
him,
10
unless
to 20
I
years,
see him personally, I'm just gonna kind of think like, yeah, there's a chance, but I doubt it.
right? And that's what I'm getting at
Because
too.
if in this day and age, how we haven't in the last 20 years already, I don't know, gotten clear evidence of Bigfoot.
Right.
I don't know, but you see way less evidence of Bigfoot throughout the year than you do of fucking aliens.
Mm-hmm.
You could find, I don't know how many, but at least a couple new fucking UFO videos that are pretty convincing
Every day. Every
Yep,
day.
every single day.
Right.
Enough for Tyler from Secure Team to fucking
To pay his
make a
fucking
video
bills,
once or
retire
twice
from his job,
a day.
and sit there all day long and put out these videos because he's got so many followers, because he puts out so much quality stuff.
Good shit. He's a critical thinker.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not just duped. He'll be like, I don't think this is real, but I'm putting this on here anyway because it's interesting, and who knows? I want to see your opinion. Like, I'm not knocking the guy at all. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, there's enough. There's way more evidence of aliens existing than like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. I'm pretty sure the Loch Ness Monster doesn't fucking exist because pretty much anybody who's ever found a picture, got a legitimate like, wow, that might be the Loch Ness Monster picture, has been like, no, I did that.
Right.
Like the one that started it all was fake. You know what I mean? The one you always see, the old like black and white,
Right.
looks like it came from the newspaper,
Yeah, and it probably just
and it
came
looks
from-
like a fucking Brontosaurus or
Yeah.
whatever coming out of the.
And in reality, it's probably just a picture from like Clay's Park.
But what it was, is it was just that. It was a fucking rig they built up of like a
Right.
toy, and they took a picture of it and said it. Like the guys admitted it, from what I heard anyway. I'm all hearing this from secondhand information, but
Right. Well,
way more than secondhand. But
I just want the aliens to come so bad.
I do, but I hope it's not. I hope it's a positive thing, not a negative. Like not a bad thing, a good thing. They come in peace.
Well, right. Well, of course I hope they come in peace.
I don't want it
but,
to be like an Independence Day type shit.
Right. Oh, God, no, me neither. But then again, with Independence Day, I think that could have gone a whole different way, too, if the U.S. government had approached it a little bit differently.
I would even settle.
But we won't get into that.
I would even settle for like the day the Earth stood still scenario, where one comes down and there's aliens like up in the sky or whatever, and he's determining whether or not we're worthy of surviving, and he can determine. Spoiler alert: determines that we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
And it kind of opens our eyes because we're aware that the aliens exist now, and they let us live because they think we have the potential to be worth it. you know?
Here's my thought on it.
Which might open a lot of fucking people's eyes.
If the aliens came to Earth, some people, I guess, I don't want to say people in general, but some
What
people.
do you mean, some people? I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean, douchebag. But
You mean librarians?
funny how? Funny like a clown?
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway,
Joe Pesci.
love Joe Pesci. Go and get your shine
Speaking
box.
of Joe Pesci, sorry, hold that thought. But
I'm gonna
you ever
lose
see
the
that?
thought is what I'm gonna do.
This shit was cracking me up. But you ever see that episode of Family Guy where they're at like an Italian restaurant or something, and then Joe Pesci comes out of the fucking bathroom and he picks them up and goes, "Hey kids, look, this is what a tough guy was in the '90s."
Yep, I do.
Or some
remember
shit like that. Oh, that shit was killing me. Anyway,
Anyway.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That was pointless. I
That's
don't know
okay.
why I brought it up.
So anyway, some people feel
That makes
like
me
if
laugh.
the aliens did come here,
Yeah.
that they're coming here to take over the earth and to, all kinds of destruction and this and that.
Death and destruction.
Right.
Like some Avengers shit.
Right. Why in the fuck would they do that? I mean, no, but I mean, hold on. Let me say it. Why in the fuck would they do that? Because think about. First of all, we are completely depleting all of the Earth's.
All of our main resources.
Right.
To the point where we have to think of alternative resources.
Right. We're looking into space travel to populate other planets now.
Because
Why
we
would they
know
wanna-
we're doomed. It's like we
Right.
already know we're going to fuck ourselves.
Why? And I'm not saying this is just my thought on it. What possible reason would they want this fucking planet for?
No,
These
I mean, I
motherfuckers in their spaceships can travel interdimensionally through wormholes,
I mean,
flying
maybe.
out
Who
to
knows?
distant planets that are probably so much better than ours.
Very possible, yes.
Why in the fuck would they want to take over our planet?
No, that's a good point.
Unless they're coming here to help.
Well,
And there's
No,
actually
yes.
theories. There's actually theories that this Earth was populated by aliens. We are the aliens. We
Well,
are the people
I was
that
just about to bring that
populated
up.
the people that populated this Earth.
I believe it's the ancient Sumerian texts. I sound really fucking smart right there, but I just know that because of ancient aliens. and
Okay,
shit.
thank you, Joe
But
Rogan.
the ancient Sumerian texts. I'm sorry, Joe Rogan.
That was
I love
a terrible Joe Rogan
you.
impression.
I was trying. I watch him a lot. It was new. I've never done it. Damn it.
All
But according to ancient Sumerian texts, I should do my hair all crazy like that Giorgio Sakalopoulos guy or
You
whatever.
talk a lot with your hands.
Who doesn't have like any real like credibility when it comes to like education, but like he's just always there.
He's always there, and he's
the
super
alien
fucking smart.
guy,
Yeah.
the guy you always see in the fucking it's aliens memes. Anyway, according to these ancient Sumerian texts, the gods came down or whatever and taught us like a whole bunch of shit. These ancient Sumerians, and we were almost like slaves to them because they wanted gold. They needed gold for their planet or some shit. I think this is what it was. Like, this is gonna break down how smart I sounded earlier because now I'm gonna sound like a total jackass because I'm forgetting everything now. But there might be something here that maybe we don't even know is so valuable. Like maybe it's not so valuable to us, but to them it might be like
I gotta
this
piss.
is gonna save our fucking planet.
Like my leg is shaking. I gotta piss so bad.
Go for it. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
Like my leg is seriously shaking.
And we're back. We both took a piss while we were at it. I forget what I was talking about. Oh,
Out with the old.
we were talking about the ancient Sumerian
With the new.
text. And I started like I guess, from what I remember, I could be confusing or mixing some things together, but they wanted gold for some reason, which is valuable to us. But in the ancient days, I don't know. To Sumerians, it might not have been so valuable. Maybe it was. But apparently that's why they were here for some reason. And so, for all we know, there could be something here that they want. And they could come with hostile intentions, you know what I mean? Maybe even something that's not so valuable to us, but it's valuable to them because they need it for some reason. Like, I think maybe the reason they wanted gold or whatever, and I could just be thinking of a plot from a movie or a book or a comic or something, but they needed it to save their atmosphere. Like, they needed to put gold in the atmosphere to, like, save the planet because their atmosphere was depleting, almost like there was like the hole in the ozone layer type shit. But for all we know, maybe they got to come down here and like aluminum is something they need, or maybe even plastic. Like maybe they don't have the capabilities of making plastic. I don't know.
They can make spaceships, but they can't make plastic.
Good point.
So-
But I mean, like, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we have a shit ton of water. Maybe they don't have water on their planet.
Maybe not. But I'll bet you, as big as space is, I'll bet you there's at least one or two other planets that have water. And I'm sure they've already found them because those motherfuckers can travel through space
Well, apparently
pretty quick.
There's water on Mars, we found out, right?
Right.
So, I mean, there's water out there.
Yeah.
And apparently there's microbial life on Mars.
Which brings me to another topic. Did you know? You know what? I don't remember where I got that, so maybe I shouldn't say that either. But I'm going to.
Okay.
I was just reading something. Or maybe I watched a video. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But somewhere.
Animals, man.
I know. Somewhere I either read or saw this, but they're talking about taking basically dead bodies and sending them out into space.
Human bodies?
Yes. So that way they'll just float out to wherever they float to. And once they enter into some other atmosphere, they will fall to that planet, and their bodies will decompose on that planet within that atmosphere.
And almost like seeding the planet.
Exactly.
Spreading our DNA across the galaxy or the universe.
Is it just me, or is that fucking crazy to think that we're going to send dead bodies out into space?
Well, I mean, there's probably that weird guy that's like, would totally volunteer for that. Like, I want to be that guy, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those guys. But,
my thought is,
have you ever seen
if the aliens are coming to our planet and they're pissed, that's probably going to be the reason why.
Like, dude, you're sending your gross-ass dead bodies?
Yeah, we don't want these things.
What the fuck? This landed on my house.
Right.
But,
here's your arm back.
Yeah, like, dude, what the fuck? But, have you ever saw that movie Prometheus? It was a prequel to Alien.
No.
I think it was Alien. Yeah. That's how the movie starts, is, there's this alien guy that, he walks, like, I think it's like Niagara Falls, or it's like a waterfall. I think it was Niagara Falls, though. And he's, like, standing there, like, right above it, like, right next to it. Like if he jumped, he would fall down. And he, like, drinks, and there's stuff, like other aliens around him, like, in robes and stuff. He's naked. And,
awesome.
there's other aliens standing around him. And, in, like, robes and shit, and, like, looking, like, all official, whatever. Like, they're there for a reason. And he takes this drink of this stuff, and then he, like, starts, like, falling to the ground and, like, breaking down into particles and goes into the water and, like, spreads out. And basically that was, from what I got from it, and this is why I really liked the movie, because of the opening scene. From the beginning, I was like, fuck, this is cool. But he breaks down into, like, particles and goes into the water, and it's almost like he's seeding the planet and creating, so we can create life. Like the whole theory of evolution. This is how I took it. The whole, like, theory of evolution thing, where we started in the ocean, we grew legs, came out on land and shit. But that's what I got from it. So you're basically saying like that. They're trying to do that, but out of space.
Right.
Now the thing I have here is they're not just sending the bodies out into cold space with no, like, protection. They're probably, like, in a pod or something, or some sort of weird.
No, they're literally talking about sending bodies.
Like no suit, no anything.
Nope.
So it would preserve them basically until they got there.
Exactly.
Now, what if this planet has the capabilities of having this body break down on this planet and spread and create more life with all the little microbial life that comes from it, you know what I mean? It must have some sort of livable atmosphere for a human. And if it's not protected and it's going into this atmosphere and flying, it's going to be all burned up and shit by the time it hits the fucking thing, if not destroyed when it hits the fucking planet, right?
That's the point that I was getting to. So
it's kind of a lost cause unless it has some sort of protection that, like, is also biodegradable or somehow, like, opens for.
But if it's biodegradable, why
it would still burn up, you would think.
Exactly.
Or maybe not biodegradable, but, like, it's not going to stand. It will break down with, like, water or something. Like, it rusts and it fucking breaks down over time, so that, like, it's not sealed in this vacuum sealed capsule. Like, there's a lot of complications, I would think, there.
Right, and that's where I was going with it.
And I'm no fucking scientist, but this is just me thinking as a normal, layman.
Right.
I mean, they might have explanations for this.
And I'm sure
ideas.
I'm sure they have ideas. I don't know.
This is the first I've heard of this. So.
Right. Well, and I don't. That's what I started to say. I don't know a lot about it, and I don't actually remember where I heard it. But I remember that I either saw it somewhere in a video that I was watching, or I read it somewhere. And we all know that they can't put anything online that isn't true.
For all you know, this is complete and total bullshit. Somebody
and
made it up.
it could be, but
It's an interesting.
it's definitely
topic,
an interesting thought.
Yeah.
But and that's where I was going with it, was that if it's a planet that would be inhabitable, wouldn't those bodies burn up on their descent through that atmosphere?
Without protection, you would think so.
Right.
I mean, unless like the cold vacuum of space preserves them so much that they're like hard as a fucking rock, or they're frozen. But heat don't you like burn up when you go into like an atmosphere like ours, at least?
Right.
Well,
look at all the comets that break into our atmosphere and fall to our Earth.
But I mean, I guess it would also depend on if this microbial life or whatever that comes from the breaking down of the human body, or whatever. Like, is the microbial life able to live in harsher environments than a human would be?
I have no idea.
So, and my point there is if so, it would have to be a planet in which it wouldn't do that entering the Earth's atmosphere, or it would kind of just float to the ground.
Well, and I think that's
you know
that's the thing. I think that
weightlessness or something.
They don't know, and I think it's almost more of an experiment, because they don't know where these bodies are going to float off to.
But for it to be an experiment, though, they would have to have some way of seeing the conclusion to know if it's even working.
Well,
so would they put some kind of tracking thing or like a camera on it or something?
I don't know.
I would watch that video.
I would watch it.
That'd be insane. I would definitely watch it. But I mean, what's the fucking point if we're not going to have some sort of payoff
to keep
just hope, just to keep hope alive?
Basically,
I guess kind of like a time capsule. Like, maybe we'll get to see this.
Right. Yeah. Maybe our grandchildren's children's children's children will see this.
Well,
and see the after effects of it. Just like fucking cats. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what, other than to just see what happens. I don't know what their reason behind. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean,
it would just be.
How would we know?
Yeah, it would just be a case of, hey, let's try this and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no way of knowing where those bodies are going to go, and then, quite honestly, it's not like that body's going to fall to that planet, and those microbes or whatever it is that's going to develop into maybe somehow some new civilization of weird alien human whatevers in the next 1,000 years is going to go, hey, I was that body that floated onto this planet.
We'll probably be completely unaware of how it started.
Yeah.
We would have no fun. How unless there's some sort of thing we left there to, like, we put on the body, like a something that'll hold up over the test of time, that has some sort of documented reason,
Right.
Like shit we wish we had, like a book that was, stood the test of time, that was like, this is where you came from, this is how it all happened, sort of deal. Like,
right.
Or at least this is what got it started.
Actually,
which would be awesome. I wish I knew that. It might ruin life.
Actually, along the same lines, but here's another thought. I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I actually saw a video where they talked about something similar to it, going back to multiple dimensions, and basically our basically what we perceive to be our reality, as opposed to the multiple dimensions of reality, and how we're all basically moving in a line, and something skews off, and then this one continues. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like the parallel universes, everything happening at the same time because of different circumstances.
Imagine however many years ago, when dinosaurs were roaming this earth, if what they claim destroyed the dinosaurs was a comet, right? That came to Earth. and basically destroyed everything.
Mass extinction, yeah.
So imagine
at least mostly.
if in one of those dimensions, even just one of them, if that comet that destroyed all the dinosaurs, killed off all the dinosaurs, something bumped it off course and it never hit the planet. There's a fucking dimension right now
Where dinosaurs are still around.
where dinosaurs still fucking exist. And we are running for our motherfucking lives.
If we even survive long enough to still exist after a while.
There could be a whole nother dimension of just some fucking dinosaurs.
But then again, I imagine it's probably hard not to, other than maybe smaller dinosaurs, to not notice a T-Rex sneaking up on you or a fucking big-ass dinosaur, you know. So we might have, you know, actually made it in the end. But I don't, that's cool to think about, though.
Isn't that cool?
Like
I said, I was sitting there and I was having this thought because I love thinking about multiple dimension anything.
Yeah.
And like I will literally sit on my couch, or if I'm working and I'm running a saw, I will literally sit there before I run that saw and think, what if I accidentally cut off my thumb in another dimension? And I'll just go off on a tangent in my brain about all the different scenarios that could happen after I cut that board and go nail it up. In another dimension, I might have cut my thumb off and now I'm at the hospital. Or in another dimension, I might have collapsed the table saw or collapsed the saw horses.
You should say, in another dimension, I cut my thumb again just now. Because you've cut your thumb like 4 times, 3 times.
That is true. But
I'll
sit there and think about all kinds of different scenarios, multi-dimensional scenarios, all the time. And I actually had that thought about the dinosaurs, and then I saw that same fucking thing in a video. And then I remember thinking, if we're talking about multiple dimensions, they actually think, because I don't want to say they've proven multiple dimensions, but because it's become such popular consensus, I guess would be the correct word, that there are multiple dimensions.
It's proven in theory,
right?
I think CERN has even proven it by accessing one, or being able to.
They're saying
they're trying to communicate with one, and they've actually.
They're doing it with the supercomputers, with these the D-Wave computers.
Yeah, what do they call them? God, what like there's a quantum computers.
Right.
Call them quantum computers.
Well, what they're saying is because, and I watched another video where the guy says, we don't even know how this fucking computer works. We just know we made it, we turned it on, and it fucking worked.
Yeah.
And they're saying that things that would take us years and years and years to figure out, problems that it would take us just the normal person, well, not the normal person, but like some super scientist guy, some super smart whatever, quantum physicist, whatever you want to call him, to figure out a problem that they're just like, I don't know. And they put the problem into this quantum computer and it figures it out instantly. And they theorize that it's because that quantum computer, which they have one at CERN, they have one at Google.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them in existence.
Right. There's one at CERN. Google has one. I don't remember where the other 2 are, but you're right. I think there's 4 of them.
Yeah, I think.
But they're saying that this computer, this supercomputer or quantum computer, is actually communicating multidimensionally, and that's how it's able to figure out all this crap. Because where we are in our dimension, this dimension over here could be just a little more advanced than what we are, might already have that problem figured out, and it's communicating with that computer.
I have a definition of quantum computing.
Okay.
That's what I was looking up just now. It says, according to Google, or Wikipedia actually, it says quantum computing studies theoretical computation systems, quantum computers, that make direct use of quantum mechanical phenomena, such as superposition and entanglement, to perform operations on data. Quantum computers are different from binary digital electronic computers based on transistors. Most of that last little bit, I have no fucking idea what it means. But basically what it's saying is this computer can directly can basically compute quantum mechanical phenomena, which means, I think this is very weirdly worded. Like you'd have to know a little bit about it.
You would basically have to be a quantum physicist.
Not really. I mean, I kind of get it, but from what I get from it is that it's able to compute and create quantum mechanical phenomena, which is like crazy shit that's only theoretically possible in quantum mechanics and quantum physics, like particle physics and shit they're trying to do at CERN. This thing is able of computing it and like either make it happen
fractions of a
or
second.
digitally recreate it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
Which,
yeah.
who's to say that just because it's happening in a computer, like in a computing standpoint, that it wouldn't actually affect the real world? Because I mean, it's quantum physics. It's physics.
Right.
The way the world works.
Right.
It's crazy. Especially thinking with like artificial intelligence. Imagine if this thing became artificially and fucking intelligent.
I was just gonna go in that direction too, because and here's another thought. The computer itself is smarter than any human being on this planet.
Yeah.
Smarter than any team of human beings on this planet.
Mean, according to
and what's going to happen?
Consciousness is a thing. Like it could create consciousness. It could, if it's, you know what I mean, artificial intelligence. The fucking scary thing about it is the fact that what draws the line between artificial intelligence and like consciousness? Is it conscious? Is it a fucking living being?
I think it's a soul.
Yeah.
But here's my thought. As advanced as these computers are getting, the computers have become so advanced that okay, let me take a step back. Humans had to program the first computers. And that computer was basically only as smart as the people that created it. But over time, that computer has gotten to the point where it's become gradually smarter and smarter and smarter to where we're now using the computers to figure out problems that we can't figure out.
Yeah.
Whereas before, we were figuring out how to make the computers.
The computers are the one figuring out the problem. We're just the one creating the computer to figure out the problem.
Right. So it's literally flip-flop to the point where the computers are already teaching us.
At what point do the computers stop needing us?
Well, and this is what freaks me out about the whole artificial intelligence thing. Because when we start creating these robotic people, I mean...
Which they're doing now.
Which, that's what I was going to say, which they're already doing. They're creating these robots that look so real, like human real, that are becoming so smart themselves. I was watching another video. I watch a lot of videos, but I was watching another video where they were talking about they took this robot, which was, I guess it wasn't a robot. They took this computer and they were playing whatever video game it was. And the first time the computer ran this video game playing this thing as the computer, it was terrible at it. But they literally let this computer run this game for, it was like 24 hours, like overnight, I guess. And then by the next morning, this computer had advanced so much.
It practiced.
Right. This computer had advanced so much on its own.
And
learned how to master this game to where the computer part of it was unbeatable. Anything that they threw at this computer, it would adjust, it would learn, and then now the scary part is
it would combat. It would work against, figure it out, and beat it.
Right. Now the scary part in my mind
Imagine applying that to something real or fucked up.
That's where I'm going. Imagine if you were to make this computer or put this computer into a robot that was so lifelike that, I mean, it could literally be like me standing here, just like we are right now, talking to you, and I have no idea that you're actually a fucking robot.
Yeah, like Westworld, which you don't watch. But
I don't watch Westworld yet, but God, I want to so bad. But where I'm going with this is, eventually, those computers, or those robots, the artificial intelligence, whatever the fuck you want to call them, those things
It's
are
all
going to
the same.
get so smart that they're going to realize, wait a minute, humans are the threat. And it's not that they're going to...
All they have to do is turn us off or deprogram us.
Well,
or change us.
No.
I mean,
the thing is, they're going to have to kill us
in order to stop that, is what I'm saying.
in order to stop us from saying, hold on, these fucking things are getting out of hand, and turning that switch off and shutting them all down. They're going to get to the point where they're going to go, you know what? We've gotten so smart that we've outgrown
We don't need
them. We don't need them anymore.
They're crowding us.
Right. They're messing shit up for us and turning this world to shit.
And once they realize that they're made of metal and damn near indestructible, you know what I mean? Aside from, like, damaging a core part of them that just kills them, you know what I mean? But, like, they could punch right through us, dude. They're fucking, like, how much steel or whatever they're made of, they're strong.
Right. These robots could get to the point
They don't break like us, you know
where they will see us as the threat because we could literally turn them off.
And some of us
that
are
they would
terrible
destroy
people
us.
that only make us look like even worse. There's fucking terrible people out there, like, especially if, like, artificially intelligent robots become, like, a normal thing that people have, like, living with them, like in, like, Bicentennial Man or like
the
movies
Jetsons
like that and shit.
with
You know
Judy,
what I
or
mean?
not
Exactly.
Judy,
Something like,
I
imagine
don't remember what their robot was
how
called.
many shitty fucking just terrible people have you come across in your life? Imagine if one of these artificially intelligent robots lives with these people. And that's what they're experiencing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, they're going to have a really fucked up perspective on humans, as opposed to Bicentennial Man, where he fell in love with the daughter and shit, spoiler alert, or fell in love with the wife and then ended up falling in love with the daughter and shit because he didn't age and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. There we go, Robin Williams, rest in peace. But, I mean, there's all kinds of fucked up circumstances that could happen.
There
because of
is.
that.
It's
Terrible things for us, and even Stephen Hawking has warned us, like, hey man, we got to keep artificial intelligence, like,
on the
to an extent, you know.
Right. Well, and that's I'll go back to what I said before. I think that technology is super fantastic. But
Why'd you say it like
and again, well, because
super fantastic.
it's
You turn into a pitch man all of a sudden. Our fucking niece,
slap chop.
Our niece Sarah would be so fucking proud of you.
But no, technology is just, it's awesome. But I think that technology is going to become the death of us. And it's not going to happen. I don't believe it's going to happen in our lifetime. I don't even think it's going to happen in our grandchildren's lifetime. But eventually, it's going to happen.
yeah,
And that scares the shit out of me.
and it's already starting.
And I'm thankful
We'll probably see it in our lifetime if we're lucky.
I think we will see the robots. I don't think we will see the end. I don't think
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We won't see the end, but we will see where it's gonna go before it, probably in our lifetime.
Yes, that's what I
just
think.
judging on what I'm seeing coming out now.
Right.
And how much it's advanced. I mean, like I said earlier, we advanced how much in the last 30 years? Even less, probably.
Right. Well, I'm just glad that
And
Al
they're
Gore.
starting to the point where we're creating artificially intelligent robots that are hard to distinguish from human beings.
Oh, this fucking cat.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Stitch. But we call her that for a reason. But
Yeah.
especially, I mean, we got to the point where we're creating these things.
Right.
Imagine where it's going to be by the time where we're thinking, like, we're probably going to die within the next few years. Crazy shit.
If Nibiru doesn't kill us first.
Nibiru. That's a whole nother topic.
Yep. So let's get on that. So.
No, actually, I think it's about stopping point. We got into a very... I think of it as interesting, but we got into a pretty good
I always find that topic interesting.
talk on artificial intelligence and all kinds of crazy shit. We always seem to go to that weird, like, physics or paranormal
I know.
thing.
Because we're so fucking smart that it just
That or
shoots out of our mouth before
we're
we even
just-
have a chance to stop it.
maybe. I mean, that's a possibility, but I think it's more just we find it interesting, and we always see Tyler from Zagir Team pop up.
You
or
know who originally...
Jacob Israel or something.
Oh, I love that dude. But you know who originally got me super interested in all this shit? I'll bet you could tell me, actually.
Joe Turno.
There you go. He used to talk about this stuff all the
It
time.
all the time too, but I mean, like I wasn't as heavily influenced by Joe as you were. You guys were closer in age and shit. I was
Right.
a youngin'.
Yeah.
But we need to have him on the podcast.
We really do.
It's just a matter of getting him out here. He doesn't drive.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long he'd want to be gone. But, yeah, I guess with that said, this has been episode 26, I believe, of Jay and Mark. If not, I'll make sure you know. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you do, in fact, like and want to share and want to subscribe, we appreciate any and all support. You got
Also,
something?
I do have something. Again, based on Nibiru, and no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God.
No, based on other videos I've watched, I've noticed a lot of them saying, and YouTube has actually changed their format or whatever,
Yeah, they've changed a lot over the last
where
year.
now you can like and subscribe to our channel, but you also have to hit that little bell in the corner if you want to be notified
Yeah.
of new videos.
Of new videos.
Otherwise, you'll never know when you put these out.
There's a few things I subscribe to that I do that. It's a little annoying sometimes, especially when there's a lot. But it's very helpful for people you definitely want to see the stuff you're really into. That you're like, oh, sweet,
Right.
cool. I'll watch that when I get home. Or
That's probably why you think we haven't made a podcast in a while. You just forgot to hit that bell.
No.
So if you go and like and subscribe to the page, and then you have to hit that little bell in the bottom right corner, so that way it will notify you when a new video comes out.
Well, go ahead and do that if you like us that much, for sure.
They
it's
like
there,
us.
You might as well use it, right?
Of course they like us.
But thanks
They
for
really,
watching.
really like us.
All right, thanks, Sally Field.
No problem.
But again, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to. And until next time,
I am Mark. This is Jay.
I am Mark, and this is Jay.
And now, Conway Twitty.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, come on. It's always fun.
The copyright issues, dude, have only gotten stricter.
That's because we gave the internet over to the United Nations.
Oh, that's because YouTube changed a lot of their shit. But have a good one.
Peace. I mean, poops.
Poops.
Poops.